sustainable livelihood generation, how we are promoting the avenues. So we have applied for the award, which is for sustainability, which goes from technology enablement, agri-food processing, and the food safety. And the project sector is a rural development. So this is how my presentation is going to be. We will be talking about what my organization is. We are working in country area, so what were the challenges which we faced? What are the strengths of the target area? What interventions we provided? What was our vision? What approach we adopted? What innovations we promoted? What is our success story? What impact we could generate? How was the rippling effect and the future plans for us? So this is our the council. We have been set up on behest of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. We are serving as a state level node of department and apex body for Department of Science, Technology and Environment, Government of Punjab. Basic mission is to promote or to carry on the agenda of science, technology and innovation to drive this agenda for the state. We are recognized, DSIRs, S0 recognized, and we are think tank for generating and fructifying the innovative ideas. So this is our mission, which is Science for Sustainable Development and Mission for Technological Diffusion at the grassroots level. So I would also like to inform that we are spearheading a mission Innovate Punjab, wherein we are in touch with all the innovation players of the state. Maybe it is research institutions, maybe it is industry, startups, the state government departments, to make a Punjab a hub of research and innovation. So this is our area where we are working for the past 3 decades or so. It's a Kandi area, which I assume that both the experts will be knowing. It's a sub-mountainous zone, which is along the low Shivalik foothills and is classified as one of the endemic zone. And there is a lot of ecological and environmental constraints in the sense that the topography is not plain. It is very, very undulating. The region has a flash flood. There's a lantana infestation of the area. With the result, the green pastures are not there. And when the green pastures are not there, there's a lot of animal attack. That is a stray animal attack is there. So for the area, we have a low agricultural productivity. There was no sustainable income source. There was a lack of technological knowledges and as well as the post-harvest infrastructure. It was categorized as a backward area. But of course, every region, if it has its challenges, it also has its strengths. So these are, the region is full of the abundantly available natural bioresources. And the local names mean there's a lot of amla, jamur, hill lemon, kari patta, giloi. That whole belt is for the medicinal and aromatic plants. So a lot of these resources, they were available and are available in that region. So this is our intervention that this is an aerial view of the facility which we have set up in the Kandi area. You can see the terrain, which is in very, very undulating terrain, which is there. So we have set up the bioresource processing facility, which is visible over here. And we have also set up the Rural Innovation and Application Center. The vision with which we took this task was, we wanted to have a value addition facility because a lot of resources were there. We wanted to go in for the technologies which can work for this area. Maybe we had to develop them, we had to take them from the other research institutions, validate them, scale up and disseminate them. And of course, local bioresources valorization so that there could be avenues for the income generation, knowledge diffusion and technology transfers, boosting and strengthening rural enterprises, skilled and social entrepreneurial workforce. This is the whole crux of work which we have been able to give up to these centers. This is the whole hard work which has gone into these facilities, which have now making a great impact on the area. The first is naturally we had to look in for what kind of a local bioresources are there. Then of course, depending upon bioresources, we had to get in touch with the institutions or the technological institutions who were developing that technological solutions. Then we had to create the infrastructure. We mobilized a very small funding initially from Department of Science and Technology, very small, so that we could set up some sort of infrastructure over there. Then the technologies which poured in from the technological institutions, we went in for the optimization, validation. Then the technologies, they had to be ready as per the industry need and as per FSSI. And of course, the most important innovative part was to involve the community. This is whole endeavor is the community-driven endeavor. So we built the capacity so that the communities could be trained for the bulk processing, for harvesting, post-harvesting, as well as for the other activities. And then, of course, when we talk of a food, we needed to have all the quality controls, assurance, GMP, HACCP. And once we had done all this, we had technologies, we had infrastructure, we had community to do this. The most important part was to have the marketing tie-ups. If the product is ready and if nobody is to buy it, then that becomes a limitation. So we established marketing tie-ups, we went in for the supply chain management and the income generation avenues. So this is the kind of innovations which we have promoted. These are some of them which we are promoting, which we have promoted. We know, I'll just take 2 minutes to explain this slide for the experts. We know that Punjab is known for the jaggery, but when we studied this, the units which were there, they were really very, very unethical practices, not very hygienic. They were using a chemical clarificant, so a lot of problems were there. So we stepped in, we involved the institution of sugar research, and we developed the prototype, and then now we have demonstrated 2 jaggery units which were demonstrated and which has given a lot of profit and yield to the self-help groups and the cooperators to which they have been demonstrated. Then talking of the natural vinegar production, vinegar we all know is many of us are taking the vinegar in the morning, which has a lot of a health benefit. But if we talk of the synthetic vinegar, it is very, very harmful. So this was a small technology which was at the level of 50 liters at the PAU. We got this technology of making the vinegar from the natural fruits, and we got this technology to a higher scale. It was validated. And now we have a capacity which is to the tune of 20,000 liters per month. The vinegar is coming out of this facility which we have set up. Then, of course, forced circulation solar dry, another technology from PAU, because lots of local resources and people were using the traditional methods. So now then 2 demonstration units were set up with the help of energy department. And this has really made difference to their income generating potential. Bamboo, which we call as the golden reserve, which can grow very well in Kandi area. We are doing a lot of technology transfer in this. Apart from the charcoal is one product which there's also the handicraft. And from the edible bamboo, the food products, the trainings they were given and people have adopted this. Even there was a good bus who was involved because there's a very unique model which they have made for making the backyard poultry. And then this, the women were trained, and there was an order of around about 200 or so the structures which were prepared and were marketed through the Unnati. Then fuel pellets from biomass, of course. The area also has the agriculture. There's a forest. Waste is also there. That has been also utilized for preparing the fuel pellets. This was a technology which is our indigenous technology which we have prepared. And this 4 demonstration units, they have been set up in this unit. Aromatic oil, because area is very good for the aroma cultivation. So we have demonstrated 3 units for the aromatic essential oil extraction in this area, which is with the farming community. Hill lemon, this is our new project under which, because a lot of hill lemon is there. So we have involved one of the biotechnology institution who are working on the technology to develop a pectin out of this hill lemon, because otherwise they're just making the pickles, pickle thing is being made. So this is something novel which will come out of this project. This is our success story. If my executive director is there and she would like to take up from here. Madam, are you there?
Yes.
Sorry for interruption, ma'am. Can you please conclude your presentation in 2 to 3 minutes?
Sure. So just would like good afternoon to all the committee members here. Just through this slide, wanted to give you a flavor. When we say it's a huge success story which has created a significant impact in this area, if you look at the left-hand side of the slide, this is what the site looked like. These were dilapidated sheds that we had taken on rental lease from State's Electricity Board, the Punjab State Power Corporation Limited. And on the right-hand side, this is what the facility looks like now. You name the certification this facility has. Food Standard Safety Authority of India certification. It also has export license. So just quickly taking you forward. So this involved a local cooperative from that area in the whole initiative, and that's how large-scale community involvement. And as my colleague shared with you, over these couple of last few years, series of tech interventions we have been introducing in that area, which has, and also started with one resource, which was Amla, and then slowly added the technologies for the other resources which grow in that area. And the product range also has expanded over the years. So this is the impact. About 2,400 metric ton bioresources are being, values being added annually there in these facilities. And directly there are 250 beneficiaries, especially women, who are directly working at the facility. And then about 1,000 indirect. And if I talk in terms of man days employment, it's close to the tune of 2 lakh man days employment per annum, which is being generated. And I said series of tech interventions. So about 7 technologies we brought. As I said, we have been infusing these technologies. That's the जिसको कहते हैं राज है इसकी सक्सेस स्टोरी को में जनरेट होने का. जैसे जैसे पकड़ में आया कि ये कुछ दोबारा से इनकी इनकम में कुछ और एडिशन कर सकता है, we've been bringing the technologies, and you name the best of the brands in the country, be it Apollo, Cadilla, our own Punjab's Market, Godrej, Dhanvantari, and also online marketing. They're all now connected with this facility here in Kandi area. So this is, again, to give you, this is something I find a very beautiful rippling effect which has come out of this initiative. If I just give example of one technology, say scientific jaggery making, वो एक यूनिट लगाया, उसके बेस के ऊपर पंजाब गवर्नमेंट ने 2 units, in fact demo units, has now declared Hoshiarpur district as for jaggery, 1 district, 1 product. I mean, taking this at the policy level, also pushing these interventions. And based on this now, with the Punjab Agro's initiatives, 12 scientific jaggery making units have come up, and the 2 demo units that we set up, they are also now acting as kind of common facility center. The other farmers in the area are coming there and making their jaggery at these units. And also similarly, we had picked up a technology from Punjab Agriculture University for forced circulation solar dryer for drying of the bioresources there. And as soon as we could demonstrate the success, we could take the community along, the state government replicated, and now 25 forced circulation solar drying units have come. Similarly, natural vinegar technology from 50-liter scale, it has gone to a many folds higher scale. And this is, one of the largest facility now in India for making the natural vinegar. So just last slide, sharing with you what is the future vision we have. Now we are planning to launch a rural milieu accelerator from this platform, from this facility that we have, which when I say that, it means that our vision is to nurture at least 6 startups a year, which would be working in the rural milieu, in the rural domain, based on the local bioresources. So that's the future plan we have. I think that's all. So that's just to give you a flavor. Happy to share that Government of India had conferred me with the National Award for Women's Development through Application of Science and Technology. President of India had given this award. It's by the Ministry of Science and Technology. Also the award for exemplary service in the field of science and technology by the state government. And in my team also, 7 of my other scientists and engineers in my own organization besides me received the state Parman Patra. And recently we also received the state UNDP and Government of Punjab's SDG Action Award 2020 for environment sustainability. And also we promote the IP protection of intellectual property rights in a big way. So received the IP recognition award for the last 2 consecutive years. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you. That's all from our side. Yeah.
Thank you very much, madam. And congratulations from our side also on your getting President Award.
Thank you
see,
so much.
good work speaks for itself. I have been to Punjab, I have worked in Punjab, I have worked in Kandi area. I know how difficult it is to really bring especially livelihood promotion programs. So I am really happy to note that these are the type of interventions which were definitely required here. Just one question.
Please.
If I just ask you, what is the average increase in the income of the people who have been involved in this? Because ultimate test is that people livelihood should be generated and it should be adequate enough to live comfortably.
So I will give you, I can give you one word answer also, but since I'm so glad that you have worked closely with the Kandi area and you appreciate the challenges of the area. So I'll rather give you maybe in one or two sentences a little elaborate answer, which I'm sure, something you can, you will appreciate. When we started working in this area, the amla was selling at the rate of 2 rupees a kg. And the forest in this area belong to community. The lands are fragmented. The forest area, the community has the forest land, and there was no good harvesting practice. Today, there is, at the facility, as I said, we involved this local cooperative with us. So a buyback happens, like any government gives MSP for a crop. For small crops like the giloy, like Karela, wild Karela, amla, all those grow in that area, kind of a prices that too is fixed in consultation with the collectors there. So it has come to the tune of 8 rupees to 14 rupees a kg, the amla itself. I'm just talking of again one crop. And then, recently we looked at the cost economics of jaggery, for example. And Dr. Alkesh, if you can, or Dr. Bakshi, if you can add the precise figures, which prior to setting up of scientific jaggery production unit was their monthly income, and what is the monthly income now? If you can quickly just add, so then I'll go to, quickly perhaps.
For the sugar cane, because when we had started, the initial price of the sugar, the jaggery which was being sold in the market was to the tune of 30 to 35 rupees. But with our intervention, with the packaging, with the biological clarificant going in, with the hygienic and the kind of a system where we could produce in the 3-pan system with a higher productivity. One is the productivity has gone 3-fold. And the second is the price from 30 to 35 has gone to 50 to 55 rupees per kg. That is our FPO which has been settled, who is now getting. And there has been a bulk orders, not only for the usual consumption, for the marriage orders also, they have already got in advance for this season also. So that is a kind of an impact this has been able to generate.
I think if there is more time, we can discuss more. Very good. But because of the limitation of time, I think I would like to wind up there, except let me tell you, I buy this murabba, amla murabba from the market, that cost me 600 to 700 rupees a kg. So if some sort of this murabba activity and all these type of activities, we also start in our area and quality is maintained, I think there is no limit on that.
Thank you so much, and I would say it's a facility worth looking at. That's how I showed you before and after pictures. Starting from dilapidated sheds, literally I would say वो सांप लटक रहे होते थे छत से जब हमने ये sheds लिए हैं अपना PSPCS से. तो आज so and it's not only preserve or murabba. There are about 10 products based on.
I know. I just gave one example, no?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And God bless you in your endeavor.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Excellent and outstanding work, madam. I have just a suggestion that you develop your facility as a technology incubation center, so that more such facilities can be created in your states. Entire Punjab has a lot of potential.
So in fact, that's what, when I showed you the slide on future vision, precisely what you are suggesting. Thank you for resonating with our vision. That's what we've named it. Instead of incubator, we've named it accelerator,
Sure.
which besides providing the incubation facilities, if somebody has to come and validate the technology or even carry out the initial manufacturing, it will accelerate in terms of providing a common brand also. If some branding, we can provide one brand under which it can be marketed. We'll provide the marketing platform. Now we've established the online marketing platform, the marketing linkages with best of brands in the country, so that all the facility will be available to the startups or the entrepreneurs. That's why we've named it accelerator, instead of just leaving it at the level of incubation.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Excellent work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
I am giving presentation on e-governance initiatives in Karnataka Prison Department. Mike, sir? Pardon?
You can continue, sir.
Yes. As we are everyone aware that prison is a state subject, the prisons to be controlled by managed by every state or individual state. So in our state, prison department comes under the Home Department, Government of Karnataka. So as no, prison is one of the pillar of the individual criminal justice system, like police, court, like one second. Slide change. Police, court, and prosecution and prisons. So in Karnataka, we have around 52 prisons. So around all the prisons in the state, we have 16,720 prisoners also in the prisons. And out of this, around 70% is under trials and around 30% is convicts. So roughly it is 3536 and under trials is 13184. As we know that Karnataka Prison Correctional Service Department as a pioneer in the adapting the initiative best practice in the e-governance initiative in the country. So this is the slide for the brief note on the Karnataka prisons. Like you have different types of prisons in state, like central prisons, women prison, district prison, and taluk prisons, and open prison. So the main initiatives we undertaken in the e-governance, like e-prisons, one is, this is a concept like digital approach to prison administration, everyday prison administration. Then there is a concept of video conferencing, that means production of inmates before the courts through a VC equipments. Then there is a concept of e-mulakat. There is an online interview facility with the inmates and with family members and advocates. Then there is a e-filing concept. It is mainly brought during the quiet time. So prisoners can file bail application through a online by their respective from the advocates. So if I go to e-prisons, in our Karnataka state, we started e-prisons started 2014. So this is software developed by NIC Government of India. This e-prisons covers both during the admission of prisoners to release of prisoners, with including photo, biometric, and fingerprinting. So recently we linked e-prisons system with ICJS, that is interoperable criminal justice system. It is linking means you are linking all the pillars of the criminal justice system, like prison, courts, and prosecution. So it is e-prisons covers like a MI system, management information system. So it is very that it brings the ready-made material to any point of time. So we have a concept of release of the prisoners. So the e-prisons automatically calculate the automated prisoners. And there is one more of the concept like 436A. That means when our prisoners is large in the prison, we have to release, we have to check it that if the prisoner has large more than half of the sentence, we have to release from the court, release from the prison on the directions of the respective courts. The main outcome of the initiative of the e-prison is it is a ready-made material for any items, ready-made material for the to know the records, and data can be retrieved at any point of time. The documents are kept in electric form. The complete previous history of the prisoners can be identified. The record of visitors visiting prisoners. There is a concept of visiting the prisoners with the family members, so we can record very easily. This is the portal of the NIC of the Karnataka. Then this is the public portal, sir. This is a public portal. Anybody can visit this portal. This is NIC given some outstanding performance by the Karnataka state in 2015. Then one more concept like virtual production of inmates before the courts. So in our Karnataka state, we have 100% video conference equipments in all the prisons of the state. So we have equipments, and we have internet, and we have cabins. So about 90 prisoners, totaling about last 2 years, we are producing around nearly 3,90,000 prisoners through a video conference to various courts. Presently, it is 80% of prisoners we are producing before the various courts of state. Now we are planning to achieve, it should be planning to achieve to 98%. Then right now we have around 230 video conference equipments in the prisons of the states. So this year also we have planned to procure 1,100 equipments for during the current financial year. This is the photo slide of the video production. Then there one more is e-Mulakat. So this is one more e-governance initiative to give opportunity to prisoners to interact their family members. So this is implemented in all the prisons of the state. So we are providing video conference facilities like prisoners, similar to intro facilities to the family members and the advocates. During the quiet time, we stopped all the physical intro with family members and the advocates. That is during that time most helpful for this e-Mulakat facilities. Last 2 years, we provide around 30,000 prisoners. We provide the facility of 30,000 prisoners to meet their family members and lawyers. This is the visitors registration certificate. This is photo slides. Then one more is e-filing. The e-filing means during the quiet time, we have introduced this e-filing system on the direction of Supreme Court of India. So this is what do we mean? This means they can file easily from the advocates on behalf of the prisoner. So last 2 years, we released through e-filing system about 23,000 prisoners we released through e-filing system. And one more system is a faster system. This is like a fast and secure transmission of electronic records system. This system is implemented all over India on the direction of Supreme Court of India. But what is the importance in our Karnataka means we implemented within the 1 month of span of the direction of the Supreme Court of India, and we are executing that project. It is simply the Supreme Court given bail orders. Once they give bail order, they will send it to the email to respective prisons. Within the matter of 1 day, they will going to release. So this is mainly 4 initiatives we have done in Karnataka, sir. Thank you. So any questions can be asked?
So I think you are happy as jail authorities, and even your prisoners are very happy. Am I right?
Better, sir?
Even your prisoners are very happy because they are able to interact with their family virtually as and when they want.
Yes, definitely, sir.
So how many times you allow them?
Sir, this is within the week 2 times.
Whether it is in physical or it is virtual.
No, this is basically full virtual. Physical is separate thing, sir.
So if they come physically, they can see twice a week, then virtually also twice a week.
Yeah, this is, you're taking as per our prison manual, the physically 2 times a week. This is also allowed. This is the thing we are doing anything in manual. So
Correct. This is
you are
as per
allowing both.
manual.
You are allowing both.
Okay, good. So what is the ultimate objective of your all this? You know,
Ultimate is one thing is a speedy trials. We are
speedy trial. Okay.
Yes, speedy trial.
Okay, because you are able to produce them virtually, no?
We are
That
doing
is good.
on time. So main
Online.
concept is speedy trial.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No questions.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Suresh ji. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
And Research Center. It's an initiative of ITDA Uttarakhand government. And today I'm presenting the Unmatched Eye in the Sky. It's a solution dedicatedly for disaster management. As you all know, the geographical condition of Uttarakhand, it's a hilly terrain and Uttarakhand are more prone to disasters. So every year we have some small depths of disaster. So this solution is specially designed to manage the disaster situations. So our ultimate objective is to deploy this system, Unmatched, to the disaster location. And to find out the real scenario, it's have a live streaming options. So we can fly the drone to the disaster zone, the ground zero, and we can supply the footage to the command and control center to analyze the real situation of the disaster zone area. We have a surveillance and mapping options. The vehicle is equipped with surveying drones, which can be utilized to survey the area of disaster zone. And as you must know that during a disaster, we have two major problems. One is the electricity cuts down due to the loss of electricity pole. The second is there is no network connectivity. So the vehicle is equipped with the on-site generator inverter, which can be operated for 24 hours of operation. It is also equipped with the network connectivity bandwidth aggregator so that it can operate in low network zone. If internet is available, ISPs, towers is available, we can use a bandwidth aggregator. If it is not, we can directly connect our vehicle to the SATCOM, satellite communications. Next, there are some elements of Unmatched. It's have a base vehicle, which is equipped with the power generation and inverter, which can be utilized for long operations for 24 hours of operation. It has a dedicated drone inside, and this platform can be clubbed with multiple drones. We use a surveying drone, the surveillance drone. The drones is capable to shoot the real scenario of disaster. Also, it is equipped with multiple payloads. Like I said, it has a mapping payload, the thermal payload. Thermal payload, we use this for dead body identification, and the surveillance payload, which is utilized to have a real-time scenario, real-time live streaming from ground zero to the command and control center. Next, we have workstation PC, so that the data that we capture on the ground, it can be processed in the ground only. So we don't need to send the raw data captured from the drone back to the office, and we have to wait for the processing. Have a workstation PC on board, so we can capture the images of the disaster zone area, and in the ground zero we can generate the 3D model and the elevation model of the disaster area. Next, it is equipped with the processing software, so we can process all the data of the drones. Next, this is some visual of our Unmatched. It has a IR camera to check the real disaster situation, has a smart TV for live streaming solutions, they have onboard generator, inverter for power backup, live streaming server to send the footage from ground zero to the different command and control center. They have a bandwidth aggregator for network connectivity. Next, these are some specification of the drones that we are currently using. Drone is capable of fly 4 kilometers of range with multiple swappable payload. Vehicle is same as like power backup option is there, live streaming option is there, and we do have a workstation PC. So this is the operational methodology. Suppose if we got some news for the disaster location, first one step is we relocate our vehicle to the disaster location. Second is our team will be deployed along with the vehicle. It will do the flight planning and it will give the ground zero operation, and it will do the surveillance of the ground zero and will transfer the footage to the control and command center. And fourth is we have equipped with the photogrammetric software and workstation PC to generate the 3D model. So these are the some key contribution that a vehicle is used for. It is mainly for the disaster relief operation, assess the local SDRF and NDRF during the time of disaster. It has an integrated software. These are some glimpse of unmatched operation. This was the disaster the last month in Dehradun only, the 26th August. Flash flood and cloud burst hits the river, and flash floods ruin all the properties of the household and the people over there. So these are the images captured from the drone itself. We have also present our vehicle to the drone Indian Drone Festival, which was presented in front of Honorable Prime Minister, sir. I would like to share one small report on Navnetra, the use cases. Yeah, these are the data that we capture in the recent disaster area.
Sorry, sir.
So,
can you please conclude your?
Yeah. So these are some footage that we have captured in the recent disaster in Dehradun. So we have captured the area with a drone, and we have compared the area with the recent footage of satellite map. So in this way, we can find out the extent of damage that was done during the disaster. In the left-hand side, we have a satellite image, and right side, we have a drone image. So with the help of satellite image and drone image, we can find out the level of an extent of damage that was happened during the time of disaster. These are some damaged road and property. So we can identify the real location, the extent of damage, and we can directly send these footage and the raw data to the command and control center to immediate response and command. These are some vegetation area. This was the before image of the satellite, and this is the after image. All the vegetation area was lost due to the flash floods. And
okay, I think we got it. We got it. Anything else you want to add? It's okay.
Yeah. Any questions, sir?
Now you just tell me.
Yes.
Is it post-operative only, or is it preventive also? I mean, something happens, then you manage your disaster, or you can preempt also something through your technology.
Sir, we can also do the pre-disaster mapping. Suppose we have all set plans. We are deploying this vehicle, all the disaster-prone area where the disaster may happen. So we map all those areas. We identify the slope stabilization techniques, and we identify the loose rocks. So we can mark all the disaster-prone areas, which can be catered out with some solutions. So we use this vehicle for mapping of disaster-prone area and after disaster also.
Yeah. So I mean, a step next to that is you inform the public also.
Yes,
that
sir.
This is the likely area which is to be affected, and let them be careful about
to relocate and shift from the
rescue and all.
Place. Yes. And our Uttarakhand government aims to have such more solutions, and we are planning to deploy these systems in all districts of Uttarakhand, so that we can have a much more command with a fleet of this Navnetra.
This Navnetra, has it been able to identify any potential area so far?
Yes, sir. Recently, we have developed this in the month of February. We have developed this vehicle, and in the recent flood of August, we have deployed the system, and it has collected some meaningful data, which is directly given to the state disaster relief forces. and the report have been submitted to the SDRF to have an immediate action on the based on the data captured from the Navneet.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, have you used this in the Char Dham Yatra, which was done in June this year?
Yes, sir. We have used this. Actually, at that time, we don't have a vehicle, but we have a dedicated drone team. So our team was deployed with the directly to the police department and the traffic police department, and we analyzed the people count and the we assess the local police in trafficking, in police trafficking.
Okay, it means you have very well tested and established this.
Yes, sir. We are testing the system, and we also upgrading the systems.
Okay.
To
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Got it.
Thanks.
The opportunity to present the prominent, or rather the one of the important IT initiatives of MMRDA. So one being the e-tendering portal and the other being website. So apart from these two, we also have other initiatives which I'll talk about while we run through the presentation. But I'll start with the e-tendering portal. So I hope my presentation is visible to everyone now.
Not yet, except you are visible, but not visible.
I have already shared my screen.
Okay.
Faizan, is my presentation visible to everyone?
It's visible to me. This, can you
It is
please
also
confirm?
visible to me.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Carry on.
Please go ahead.
So in that case, I'll just run through. So yes, presenting the MMRDA e-tendering portal and how we have basically nominated this e-tendering portal under the category of e-tendering. So now that we know that the other state or government entities basically go for e-procure or Maha tenders, like in case of other government entities in Maharashtra. But here in MMRDA, we have developed our own e-tendering portal. So we are going to talk about, about MMRDA a bit, and then what are we going to cover in the presentation? Like what are the objectives that we have, thought through when we thought about, investing into, developing our own e-tendering portal. What are the special features? What were the, few challenges that we were facing before the e-tendering portal that we developed, and how did we, come up with certain solutions? And yes, of course, the prominent outcomes and the facts. And then we can later on move on to the Q&A session where the respective jury members can raise their questions. So talking about MMRDA, the very reason why MMRDA has been, came into picture was basically to properly, orderly, as well as, to maintain rapid development in the MMR region, which is Mumbai metropolitan region. And yes, this was to basically execute major projects and schemes that is under the periphery of MMRDA. So quickly about MMRDA. So it is basically, has a perimeter of 6,328 kilometers. And way back in 2017, the population was 2.5 crores, where almost 94% of the population was under the urban belt. And now, going back to 2041, we'll have 100% urbanization. And similarly, subsequently, the employment rate is also going to increase, and also in nominal numbers. So talking about the geographical boundaries, we have 9 municipal corporations, 9 municipal councils, and then a lot of towns and villages, 1,000 plus villages. And talking about the geography of districts, we have 2 full districts that come under the periphery of MMR. And yes, 3 part districts like Palghar, Thane, and Raigad. And talking about the organogram of MMRD as such, the organogram or the structure is pretty simple. We have an executive committee above the Metropolitan Commissioner, and all of these are basically, again, kind of diverted into multiple responsibilities of additional Metropolitan Commissioner 1, 2, and then there's a joint Metropolitan Commissioner. And there is 20 plus departments that all of these are basically managing. And yes, talking about the portfolio that MMRDA manages. So there are multiple sectors that, where MMRDA is contributing, be it transport, infra, environment, social sector, or planning. This is mainly urban planning is what I'm talking about. So yes, on the screen, you can see the kind of projects that MMRDA has taken up in last 40, 45 plus years. So I'll not get into each and every project, but yes, so this is basically, the prominent projects that MMRDA has taken. moving on to the next slide. So before starting the presentation, as I said, there are multiple IT initiatives that MMRDA has taken, of which two of the initiatives is what we have actually proposed or rather nominated for SKOCH Award. But you can see we have multiple projects that is basically, in the pipeline, like the ERP, the GIS, integrated delivery system, that's the 5D Beam project. So very innovative project is what we are getting implemented here in MMRDA. Building pass, making, the building pass approval system, making it online so that it is easy for the users to, just go to one single window and get all the required approvals. Moving the data center, the in-house data center to cloud. So talking about the technology to connect the other site offices of MMRDA. So these are few of the initiatives, and Sugar Box again is one of the innovative project which we shall be, getting implemented next year, and very well will be nominating these kind of projects again in SKOCH. So yes, so talking not much about the other initiatives and going back directly to the website.
I
sorry,
think
my bad. It is
in view of
yes, sir.
it, I would request you to please come focus on the project which is under.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. So we are now going back directly to the e-tendering portal which we have nominated. So yes, first and the foremost thing, this is basically cloud-based. So this is not deployed something on premises. And then here we have so I mean, if I have to talk about the objectives, the objectives are very clear that we need to have a e-tendering portal which will basically be more secure, more transparent, and there will be a lot of security level would be far more higher compared to the state level e-tendering portal or the other tendering portal that that the other states have been using. So this I would rather stress on this. This e-tendering portal has been developed only and only for MMRDA. Keeping into mind three things. One is the security, the other is basically the ease, and the third is the transparency. So yes, so talking about the e-tendering portal objective, so there is a lot of pre-qualification questionnaire that we can keep. Single level of tender we can do, 2-layer of bidding process we can actually manage here, and there is dynamic Excel import facility also, where you can see what are the different kind of tenders that we have published, at which stage is this, and then the encryption level is of extreme importance, which I want to highlight over here. Plus, whatever the internal users or the bidders have been doing in the e-tendering portal, there is an audit trail to basically look at it. Plus, we have done the online integration with the payment gateway, where the bidders can basically make the tender fees payment or the EMD payment directly. And the workflow, what we have done is here for the e-tendering portal, we have studied multiple. What we have done is we have studied multiple e-tendering portal across state or across India, and then we have picked up all the best practices plus few of the features which would actually make it unique. Those have been added here. For example, I'll just speak about that unique features in the meanwhile. But yes, so as I said, integration with the payment gateway, the workflow has been revamped completely compared to other tendering portal, so that complete security, transparency is basically maintained. There is also an option of my briefcase where the bidders or the buyers can actually have their set of documents uploaded, so they need not have to upload the same document again and again if the bidder is bidding for different bids. And then yes, there are separate templates that we can actually define for different bids, so there is a flexibility as well. So yes, talking about the unique features here, the entire bid management process or the workflow that we have actually put in the e-tendering portal has been patented. One of the unique, I'll rather stress more on this. One of the unique feature of this e-tendering portal is the moment the last submission date is passed, the department or nobody, no user in the department of MMRDA would come to know how many bids have been received. It is only when the bid is basically closed and the bid or rather the proposal by the bidder is being transferred to MMRDA, only then it will be realized how many bids we have received for the particular RFP. So that's basically one of the unique feature that we have added. That is that we have actually got a feedback from a lot of bidders and across. We have done a lot of secondary research as such, and based on that, this feature was basically built. So yes, sir. So like other e-tendering portal, we also have provision to keep single layers, 2-layer or 3-layer tendering. You can only have a pre-qualification stage, pre-qualification club with directly commercial opening, or you can have pre-qualification technical and commercial opening as well. And yes, provision of QCBS as well as LCBS, all of these is basically possible here. And customized MIS is what we can actually download from the portal. As I said in the last slide, the audit trail is basically, completely available. So every minute, whether it is a user, whether it is the, when I say user, I mean the internal user or the bidders, every activity performed by them is basically tracked here. And the application, so again, one of the unique feature is the payment gateway and the integration with bank is basically such that the bidder can basically make the EMD payment online. That's basically a common thing. But the important thing is, in case the EMD amount has to be returned to the unsuccessful bidders or the successful bidder post submission of sorry, PBG, that can be done online immediately through the tendering portal.
Sorry, sir, for interruption. Can you please conclude your presentation in 2 minutes?
Yes, I can do that. So I have only just last 2 slides here. So as I said before, the e-tendering portal, everything was very physical. So there was a lot of meticulous activities that have to be done. There was no proper structure of the workflow that had to be followed. There was no transparency as such. Security, encryption was basically haywire. So just to bring all of these into place, we had a centralized portal, which was basically prepared. So this ensured fair, open, and secure tendering process. And apart from that, as I mentioned, now that we have this e-tendering portal, there is a lot of transparency, security has been enhanced now. Everything is being done online. So whether you talk about operational efficiency or cost efficiency or time efficiency, everything has been maintained here. So yeah, the major outcomes, if you see, of the e-tendering portal that we have been using from last more than 8 years by now, the process has been very much standardized. The productivity level has gone really up. Transparency has increased. As I said, the cost, the operational cost has actually gone down. There is clear accountability as to who has done what activity, and yes, reduction in time. So far in last 8 years, we have actually floated almost 2,800 tenders, of which 1,970 have been concluded, and tender worth of more than 11,500 approximately. And yes, I mean, not to mention that, but yes, around 7 years ago, we have already won a SKOCH Award of Merit for the same e-tendering portal. So I thought it's really better that we get recognized very well again. So this is basically the last slide, the homepage of the e-tendering portal. If you want, then I can basically quickly, take you to the homepage of the e-tendering portal so that you can take a look at it. That's basically the homepage. And I think we are pretty much done with the presentation and open for the question and answer.
Madan sir, you're on mute actually.
Gupta sir, I think this is quite similar to the central government, central public procurement portal. Quite similar, what functions you have mentioned. Is there any difference between the two?
Yes, sir. I mean, if you see technically, I hope I'm audible. Yes, I am. Technically, if you see, as far as the e-tendering portal is concerned, there's obviously a policy or a guideline document that is available at Government of India level. So we obviously had to follow that. So if you have to compare our e-tendering portal with the Maha tenders that the other government entities use in Maharashtra, or other e-tendering portal which other states or is being used at central at the center, the features are going to be same. What we are saying is the innovation that we have done is basically the unique features that we have actually brought into action. As I said, there is EMD, return of EMD is one unique thing. Then
yes,
there has to be a transfer of bid to MMRDA.
Sure.
If you see Maha tenders or e-procurement tendering portal, the moment the bidder basically submits their proposal, immediately it could be opened at the client end. So here the control has to be passed. So, I mean, why this control? The reason why we have this control is till the time the control is not given, the commercial bid is not basically, can be accessed with anybody.
I got your point. In fact, these features are not available in the central public procurement portal. Even in the CPP, for submitting of performance guarantees also manually as of now, even as of now.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Sure. These are basically the functionality. So if I tell you technically, there are a lot of advantages, which I did not mention in my slide. I thought, that would be too boring. But yes, to name a few, technically, there is no dependency
on database.
Thank you, sir. Got it.
So, I mean, just to mention, technically, there's no dependency on database. You can use MySQL, you can use MS SQL, you can use Linux, you can use Windows and whatnot. So absolutely no dependency technically also.
Agree.
Okay. Thank you. No questions from my side.
Thank you, sir.
So,
since the template has been very much the same for this website nomination as well, so I'll not basically run through the other common slides which I've already presented for the last e-tendering nomination. So I'll quickly run through and deep dive directly on the new website objectives. So MMRDA did had a old website of MMRDA where the features were pretty much simple. It was basically built on old technology. So the need basically arose to basically have a new MMRDA website. So there's nothing new that that we can actually come up with a website. But what innovation or what new thing actually we have brought into the table was we had a completely new redesigned MMRDA website. Plus, we basically made this website as a web portal. So that's a unique thing actually we brought to the table. And obviously, complying with GIGW guidelines is what every website has to do. So as I said, a complete restructuring had been done. Completely, the content have been, brought in such a way that it is simple for the users to basically access at less number of clicks. And yes, following the guidelines of the Digital India initiatives. So that's few things that we have done. And then we wanted our new website to act as a direct gateway between the citizens, MMRDA, that all the information that the citizens or any other government entities would want to basically have access to. My bad. Sorry. So this basically website is going to act as a gateway for that. And yes, one of the most important things that we have done in this website, which I want to actually stress more, is basically this website is going to act as a gateway where the feedback of the citizens and other users would be taken to formulate policies. So based on those policies or based on that feedback, the MMRD authority would make informed decisions. So that is one of the prominent objectives that we had before we thought about this website. Talking about the feature, yes, the entire look and feel of the new website has been changed. It has been developed on the new technology, open source rather, Drupal, where it has been developed on an open source platform, where the interoperability or the integration with internal or external government applications is going to be easy. So here what we have done is we have developed the entire website in two phases. One is basically replicating the old website, but yes, a complete face has been given. A facelift is what I would say. New technology, complete new theme, easily accessible content, etc. And citizens can actually reach out to the content that they're looking at fewer number of clicks. So that's one thing. And following the GIGW guideline, we have also structured the content in such a way that it is differently able friendly as well. So somebody who is specially abled or a differently abled user, they can also have access to our website. And yes, making it compatible with all the major browsers, devices is what we have done. Bilingual, yes, again, English and Marathi version is what we have made available to the website. The website has been, already security audited by certain empaneled auditors, and it is GIGW compliant as well, as I've said in the last slide. Yes, so the reason why we have actually come up with this new website is earlier, I mean, if you see, the bounce rate was pretty high. So users who would be coming and visiting our MMRDA website would not really, felt the need or that interest to basically go to other web pages of the website. So yes, now that we have actually optimized and now that we have actually regenerated the entire content of the website, now we see that, that for sure the users visiting our MMRDA website would have more number of clicks to multiple number of pages. So yes, talking about the challenges, as I said, high bounce rate is one. The website health was basically not so good, just because it was built on an outdated technology. Not much content to be explored by the users. As I said, how high bounce rate. The page was pretty slow. Obviously, the capability of the old website was not that good. So number of content users who used to visit the website used to go into congestion phase. Yes. So the solution that we have devised already, as I said, search engine optimization have been done. Open source platform have been used to develop this Drupal SSH. The loading time, of course, have been dropped significantly because we have made the accessible highly available. My bad. And then caching has been done. So whenever user has to basically access the website, they need not have to wait so that the entire page gets loaded. So the cache will basically do the trick. And yes, in the phase 2, as I said, the second, the best thing that we have done to the website is we have added many number of modules here for internal to MMRDA. We have entire a holistic HRMS module here, which will cover leave, which will cover attendance, and blah 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 whatnot. And then there would be a visitor management module. I'll come to that, but yes, what I want to just bring to your notice is there is entire gamut of modules that we have actually brought here. So probably few weeks down the line, we would call this a new MMRDA portal rather than website. So yeah, so the second phase would also include a dashboard. So as I said, there will be multiple modules that will be augmented in the second phase. So all the data that would be collected from that module would be basically, analytics would be run. There will be a complete dashboard that will be visible to MMRDA respective department heads. Yes, so new features, as I said, chatbot. We have basically implemented a chatbot in the first phase itself, and it has been optimized to high level. So anybody who would not be very interested to go to certain pages and find the content, chatbot is the place where they can actually just go and write their queries and get the answers immediately. It has been optimized. And then, as I said, there will be internal module, search engine optimization, additional layer of analytics, which I would stress more. And then a citizen-centric dashboard is what is going to be available also for the external users. And as per the guidelines of the Government of India, it is built on open source technology for better interoperability. So what we bring on the table is now the content. If you see, it is citizen-centric. The languages are pretty simple, easy to access. We also have a sitemap like any other website. The pages have been laid out well. The content has been clear. The theme is very consistent now. The content that is being available on the website are updated on a regular basis. We have a web manager who keeps a check on the web web content here. All the grammatical extra issues have been eradicated. Plus, there is a double check that we do every time. The web is basically the content is basically updated. And then, as I said, it is GIG Blue compliant, so it does meet all the government standards. And the accessibility has been increased. So now that the website is accessible on all the devices and browsers, we have made it screen friendly. So quickly, the phase 2 modules that we are going to include here, as I said, HRMS module. Here we have leave, attendance, timesheet, etc. I'll not go into the nitty-gritties of it because this is going to consume more time into here. But quickly, the HRMS module have been planned for the phase 2. It has been almost developed and may go live pretty soon. And then employee asset management. So whatever IT or non-IT peripherals or asset that an employee basically possesses, there's going to be a complete asset management track record is going to be kept. And talking about vendor management, which has always been a pain area for any government entities. So that problem is now going to be resolved because we have a lot of features that we have actually thought about in the vendor management module. So that would be taken care of. So visitor management, people coming in and out of MMRD department, reaching out to a certain person, the track is going to be basically, maintained here. Complaint management, of course. So earlier we had a third-party tool which was basically developed by XYZ company, but now we have actually developed it internally, and now we can also have it internally integrated with the other modules, as I said, HR, visitor, etc. So quickly, I mean the last slide.
Conclude now.
Yes, that's the last slide, sir. So as I said, there is a dashboard apart from the multiple modules that we have actually thought about. So as I said, the analytics is going to be a super layer that would be added. It is kind of a cherry on the cake. This will basically collect all the data of those modules and basically present it to the department as well as to the external users. So that's pretty much what basically the dashboard does. There's also going to be facility of drill down that will basically help not only to the MMRDA internal users but also to the citizens. And yes, MIS report can be curled out in multiple formats: Word, Excel, or a PDF. So that's basically the revamped website for you. I'll just click here so that you can just take a look at the home page. However, I'm just done. So that's pretty much from my end. I'm just open to question and answer, sir.
Thank you very much. No questions from my side.
Mr. Gupta, you
Yes,
have
sir.
mentioned about chat box.
Yeah, chatbot. That's correct, sir.
In fact, besides chatbot, because everything cannot be tackled or answered by chatbot.
That's
So
correct, sir.
I think there should be some interactivity which the customer care type of group should deal it. That facility should also be provided.
Sir, we are already, making a provision where the citizens can basically directly write to us.
Sure, sure. That will help because everything cannot be answered by robot. Robot has its own limitation.
Absolutely. So thanks, sir. I mean, you brought this out. So what our plans is, so once we are done with phase 2, so we'll also bring in, what are the online services that, there are a lot of online services that MMRD is giving. We are going to make it complete online, not only front end, but also from the back end. So if you remember, there is one prominent MMP project, SSD, Service Delivery Gateway. So we are going to replicate similarly for all the online services that MMRD is going to give. So that is going to be another a phase shift that we are going to do to our website. So this won't be called as a website, but rather, a web portal.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, please.
Yeah.
मॉडल के रूप में शहर बनाया जाएगा, उसके आधार पे ही जयपुर को मॉडल बना के फिर अपन पूरे राजस्थान को और देशावर्ती मूड बनाने पे काम किया जाएगा। तो सर इसके लिए सबसे पहले हमने जयपुर शहर के अंदर सर्वे किया गया और समस्याओं का देखा गया कि क्या समस्याएं रही है। तो पहला सर मैं बताना चाहता हूँ, देशावर्ती में व्यक्ति अधिकतर नशे से लिप्त पाए गए। सर मैक्सिमम आदमी नशे में लिप्त पाए गए। दूसरा, उनके पास शिक्षा का अभाव पाया गया। और सर तीसरी बात करें तो सर रोजगार की समस्या, और रोजगार जो बहुत सारे रोजगार करते हैं तो उनको उचित मूल्य नहीं मिलना बताया गया है। सर मेरी बात पहुंच रही है सबके पास? हेलो सर, मेरी आवाज पहुंच रही है सबके पास?
हाँ सर, आप कंटिन्यू कर लीजिए सर, आ रही आवाज।
हमने ये देखा है कि मूलभूत आवश्यकताओं की कमी पाई गई, जैसे स्वास्थ्य है, भोजन है, वस्त्र, आवास आदि नहीं होना। और जैसे राजस्थान सरकार द्वारा मैक्सिमम डिपार्टमेंट की जब कल्याणकारी योजनाओं का जानकारी का अभाव पाया गया और हेल्पलाइन नंबर राजस्थान में किसी प्रकार की सुविधा नहीं है। तो सर हमने पहले भी समस्याएं का एक चार्ट बनाया गया, फ्लो चार्ट बनाया गया। उसके बाद हमने कोविड के दौरान
आवाज आ रहा है आपका?
जी सर आवाज आ रही है, आपकी आवाज आ रही है, मेरी आवाज आ रही है सर सही टाइम। और हमने कोविड के अंदर एक संदेश अभियान चला के गंभीर वर्ग असक्त जो बीमार है, एकदम गंभीर है, असक्त है, उनको अपनाकर वृद्धाश्रम एक अपनाकर संस्था है भरतपुर के अंदर, वो चलाती है। और 3 संस्थाओं के अंदर 105 संस्थान और 60 मानव आश्रम में टोटल कुल 212 व्यक्तियों को हमने रेस्क्यू किया पुलिस के माध्यम से और उनको वहां भिजवाया गया। सर हमने टोटल 80 व्यक्ति जो काम करने लायक है उनको कौशल प्रशिक्षण प्रदान किया गया हमने टोटल सर। और सर हमने टोटल सामाजिक पुलिस विभाग और स्वयं संस्थाओं के माध्यम से 7/9/2021 व 8/9/2021 को अभियान चलाकर कुल 112 व्यक्तियों को रेस्क्यू किया गया, जिसके अंदर अपनागर में हमको 42 व्यक्ति दिखाए गए। अपनागर के अंदर वो आदमी जो विषावर्ती व्यक्ति पाए गए और वर्ग असक्त है, बीमार है, गंभीर रूप से पीड़ित है, उनको 42 व्यक्ति को हम यहाँ भिजवाएंगे सर। 34 लड़कियों और RSLDC हमारे एक राजस्थान सरकार एजेंसी है जो कौशल प्रशिक्षण प्रदान करती है, उसमें हम 11 व्यक्तियों को चिन्हित किया गया और उनको रोजगार प्रदान किया गया। सर हम रेस्क्यू अभियान के अंदर कुछ बच्चे भी हमारे रेस्क्यू के लिए हमारे राजस्थान बाल कल्याण समिति का प्रावधान है, जिसके सामने हम प्रस्तुत करते हैं। और बाल कल्याण समिति द्वारा 4 बच्चों को बाल गृह के अंदर भिजवाए गए। और सर हमने कुछ ऐसे आदमी पकड़े गए जो पुनः वेश्यावृत्ति में लिप्त न हो, उनको 48 व्यक्तियों को हमने सहमति के आधार पर छोड़ा गया। सर हमने इस उपलब्धि की बात करें तो बजट घोषणा राजस्थान सरकार के मुख्यमंत्री माननीय द्वारा की गई और इसके अंदर इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए हमने 15 अगस्त 2020 से एक मानव सार्थक मानव आश्रम के माध्यम से महासौर में पुनर्वास केंद्र चला रहे हैं। 100 का पुनर्वास केंद्र है, उसके अंदर हम भोजन, वस्त्र, चिकित्सा, तेल, साबुन आदि के लिए प्रति आवासीय प्रतिमा 2500 रुपये का प्रावधान किया गया और आवासियों को योग्य प्रशिक्षकों के माध्यम से कौशल प्रशिक्षण हेतु एक प्रशिक्षक के एक प्रतिशत 19,603 सर, राजस्थान सरकार द्वारा 19,603 450 घंटे प्रतिदिन 6 घंटे ट्रेनिंग देते हैं और 450 कुल घंटे हम ट्रेनिंग के लिए ये देते हैं। और प्रशिक्षण प्राप्त करने वाले आवासियों को स्थानीय स्तर पर रोजगार उपलब्ध किया गया, जैसे इंडस्ट्री के अंदर, हॉस्पिटल के अंदर, उनकी इच्छा के अनुसार जैसे वो काम कर सके, जिन्होंने उसके अंदर प्रशिक्षण प्राप्त किया है उसके अंदर वो रोजगार दिए। सर हमारे राजस्थान के अंदर इसको मॉडल के रूप में तैयार करने के लिए पहले हमने जयपुर शहर को चुना और जयपुर शहर के अंदर CS मैडम की अध्यक्षता में, माननीय मंत्री महोदय की अध्यक्षता में मीटिंग आयोजित की और सभी डिपार्टमेंटों को काम आवंटन के लिए, कार्य आवंटन के लिए, जिससे हम एक दूसरे को इम्प्लीमेंट कर सके, स्कीम को इम्प्लीमेंट कर सके। सर पुलिस आयुक्त जयपुर को अलग काम बांटे थे। पुलिस आयुक्त को सर हम चिन्हीकरण का काम दिया गया कि वो ग्राउंड लेवल पे होते हैं, ट्रैफिक पुलिस की मदद से वो वहाँ से संघर्ष करे। एक बार हम इसको समझाने के माध्यम से करना चाहते हैं, उसके ऊपर लीगली किसी प्रकार का आपराधिक गतिविधि में ऐसी न हो जिससे वो डर जाए। पहले उसको समझाया गया, आप यहाँ काम तो जैसे गलत है, उनको समझाया गया पहले। और जब प्रशिक्षण में कोई रुचि रखता है, भाई मेरे पास रोजगार है लेकिन मेरे को प्रशिक्षण नहीं है, तो उसको प्रशिक्षण के लिए मोबिलाइजेशन ट्रेनिंग की सुविधा प्रदान की गई। और जैसे कुछ ऐसा आदमी भी है जो क्वारंटाइन सेंटर भी खोला गया तथा जैसे पुनर्वास गृह में रहना चाहता है, बाल गृह में रहना चाहता है, हमारे यहाँ राजस्थान सरकार द्वारा नारी निकेतन चलाए जाते हैं एकल महिलाओं के लिए, और मानसिक मदद और वृद्धाश्रम का संचालन किया जाता है, उन्हें प्रवेश दिलाया गया। सर हमने बता दूं जयपुर शहर के अंदर कुल 2 पुनर्वास केंद्र चल रहे हैं अभी वर्तमान में सर, जिसके अंदर एक अस्थायी है और एक स्थायी पुनर्वास केंद्र चलता है। इन दोनों के माध्यम से हम सर कंटिन्यू निरंतर रेस्क्यू करते हैं, उनको एक क्वारंटाइन सेंटर पे ले जाते हैं, क्वारंटाइन सेंटर पे ले जाते हैं, चिन्हीकरण करते हैं, वर्ग है तो वर्ग को वृद्धाश्रम में, मानसिक है तो मानसिक पुनर्वास गृह में, कोई छोटा बच्चा है तो बाल गृह में हम उनको शिफ्ट करते हैं। और कोई जिस कौशल प्रशिक्षण प्राप्त है तो कौशल प्रशिक्षण के लिए हम राजस्थान सरकार की एजेंसी राजस्थान राज्य कौशल विकास निगम है, उसके माध्यम से ट्रेनिंग देते हैं। जैसे कि सर सब एक ये है, हमने फ्लोर चालू रहा है सर, 16 नंबर PPT है सर, तो देख लो आप 16 नंबर PPT। हमने जयपुर को मॉडल बना के 16 नंबर फ्लो चार्ट बनाया था सर। सबसे पहला हमारा काम था इसको आइडेंटिफिकेशन करना और सर्वे करना कि कितने अधिकारी हैं जो फिर राजस्थान के, बाहर के हैं, और एक पूरे भारत के भी बहुत सारी यहाँ 50% भिक्षावती मिली अदर स्टेट के पाए गए, उनका भी चिन्हीकरण करके अदर स्टेट के तो उनको कैसे पुनर्वासित कर सकते, अपने स्टेट के भिखारी तो उनको कैसे पुनर्वासित करें। सबसे पहले से हमने आइडेंटिफिकेशन किया, सर्वे किया, उनकी काउंसलिंग की, रेस भी किया और कैटेगराइज किया गया उनका। सबसे पहले तो बिल्डिंग को एक घर एक जगह हमने, बहुत बड़ी जगह है जहाँ हमने क्वारंटाइन सेंटर बनाया गया, उसके पास में जो क्वारंटाइन कोविड से पीड़ित है उनको अलग से किया गया। सबसे पहले हम उनको जो रोजगार प्राप्त कर सकते हैं, रोजगार कर सकते हैं, जो 18 साल से 40 साल तक ऐसे आदमी है जो रोजगार कर सकते हैं, उनको हमने RSS के माध्यम से प्लेसमेंट ट्रेनिंग और प्लेसमेंट दोनों दी गई सर। और कोई बच्चे हैं तो उनको चिल्ड्रन केयर प्रोटेक्शन की आवश्यकता है, तो उनको CWCT हमारे यहाँ चाइल्ड वेलफेयर समिति बनी हुई है प्रत्येक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, उनको सर हम सेमी जुडिशरी पावर भी है, तो उनको एक ओपन स्केल ड्रोन चलते हैं और चिल्ड्रन चलते हैं बाल गृह, जिनको उनको पुनर्वास की सुविधा प्रदान है, स्कूल की व्यवस्था सुविधा प्रदान है, सभी प्रकार की निःशुल्क सुविधाएं प्रदान करते हैं सर। राजस्थान सरकार द्वारा भी सर महिला सदन का भी संचालन किया जाता है। महिला सदन के अंदर सर सिंगल वुमन रहती है, किसी बात की केयर आवश्यकता प्रोटेक्शन प्रदान किए जाते हैं। और निदेशालय विशेष योजना के माध्यम से मेंटल रिटायर्ड होम संचालित होते हैं सर, उसके अंदर जिसके अंदर मेंटल रिटायर्ड होम, उसके अंदर उनको लोगों को पुनर्वासित किया जाता है। और सर ओल्ड एज होम भी संचालित है, जिसमें 60 साल से अधिक जो भी असक्त है, वर्ग है, मकान करने में अब मतलब कमा नहीं सकते, तो उनको वृद्धाश्रम के अंदर सभी सुविधाएं प्रदान करते हैं, चिकित्सा, न्यूज पेपर, मतलब उनको मनोरंजन के साथ है सब सुविधाएं प्रदान करती है, जिनका उनका एक अच्छा जीवन इसके अंदर सर हम प्लेसमेंट कर रहे हैं। ड्रग्स बहुत सारे अधिकतर नशे में लिप्त पाए गए तो डी-एडिक्शन सेंटर में चलते हैं, राजस्थान सरकार द्वारा डी-एडिक्शन सेंटर का संचालन किया जाता है, उन डी-एडिक्शन सेंटर में भी संचालित कर रहे हैं सर। मैं 17 नंबर से बताना चाहता हूँ, जिसमें पुनर्वास केंद्र है और पुनर्वास केंद्र में हम सबको सभी प्रकार की सुविधाएं प्रदान करते हैं सर। हमारे राजस्थान सरकार के माननीय मंत्री महोदय जी द्वारा मानव सेवा संस्थान के माध्यम से हमने एक रेस्क्यू वैन भी संचालित की, हेल्पलाइन नंबर संचालित किए भी जो शहर के लिए, जिसे कोई भी भिक्षावृत्ति पाया जाता है तो इस स्थानीय आदमी कोई भी पुलिस वाला इस नंबर पे हमको संचालित करके हमको बताता है, तो हम इस संस्था के माध्यम से रेस्क्यू करते हैं। मैं चीज बताना चाहता हूँ सर, अब इसको जयपुर को सर्वप्रथम मॉडल के रूप में बनना चाहते हैं, इसलिए हमने अभी जस्ट नई वित्त विभाग के साथ बैठक की गई और वित्त विभाग को ने हमारे प्रस्ताव मांगा गया, जिसके अंदर सर्वप्रथम जयपुर को चार पुलिस डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर डिवाइडेशन करेगा, उत्तर दक्षिण पूर्व पश्चिम। तो सबसे कम 100 क्षमता के 4 पुनर्वास केंद्र।
सॉरी फॉर इंटरप्शन सर, क्या आप कंक्लूड कर लेंगे आपका प्रेजेंटेशन 2 मिनट में?
हाँ सर, मैं बस 2 मिनट हो रहा सर। 4 डिस्ट्रिक्ट मॉडल के रूप में इसको एकदम पूरा हैदराबाद मॉडल के बाद जयपुर शहर को पूरे भारत में रोल मॉडल बनाने के लिए हमने 188.53 लाख रुपए का प्रस्ताव बना के विभाग को भेजा गया। विभाग द्वारा सहमति प्रदान की जा चुकी है, जिसके अंदर हम सर पुनर्वास के अंदर सुविधाएं प्रदान करेंगे। 2500 रुपए सर प्रति पुनर्वास वासी के माध्यम से खाने पीने के देंगे। और सर हम बताना चाहता हूँ, और उस एनजीओ को हम सर प्रति पुनर्वास करके आवर्तक अनावर्तक सामान क्रय करने के लिए 6 लाख रुपए देंगे सर, जिससे वो सामान बेड सभी प्रकार की सुविधाएं प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं। और हम 19,602 रुपए प्रति ट्रेनिंग के देंगे सर, एक आदमी को 6,602 रुपए देंगे, प्रतिदिन ट्रेनिंग करवाएगा। और हम पुनर्वास के अंदर है तो सर 96,000 रुपए प्रतिदिन किराया देंगे। इसलिए हम 185.44 लाख रुपए हमारा सालाना का 6 महीने का रखा है अभी वर्तमान में, और इसको पूरे राजस्थान में इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे सर अगले साल से। तो उसका टोटल एस्टिमेट न्यूनतम 25 क्षमता का बनाए अभी, तो उसमें 463.81 करोड़ रुपए का 25 क्षमता के लिए प्रत्येक राजस्थान के प्रत्येक डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर एक पुनर्वास केंद्र संचालन करने के लिए 25 क्षमता का 463 करोड़ रुपए राजस्थान सरकार द्वारा आवंटित किया जाता है सर। मैं प्रेजेंटेशन समाप्त करना चाहता हूँ।
हो गया आपका?
जी सर, कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं।
मुझे सिर्फ एक चीज बताइए कि ये जो जिन लोगों को आप रिहेबिलिटेट करते हैं, जैसे 105 लोगों को, उनको अलग अलग जगह भेजा आपने, वो क्या मतलब उसके बाद क्या वो वहां जाके क्या करते हैं?
जैसे सर अपना अगर की बात करें, अब वृद्धाश्रम
मैं एक मिनट पहले मेरी पूरी बात सुन लो। मैं उन बैगर्स के ज्यादा कंसर्न हूँ जिनके हाथ पैर सही सलामत हैं, जो काम कर सकते हैं परंतु नहीं करते हैं। उनको आप ट्रेनिंग दे के भी नहीं करा सकते काम
सर, हम
उनको,
कोशिश करते हैं
क्योंकि उनके मन में विलिंगनेस नहीं है काम करने का। उनको ये है कि बैगिंग से ज्यादा पैसा बनता है बशर्ते कि काम करके।
हाँ सर, पहले तो हम कोशिश करते हैं उनको एक संदेश के माध्यम से, भाई आप तो पहले कौशल प्रशिक्षण देते हैं और उनको रोजगार लगाते हैं सर, इंडस्ट्रीज में, हॉस्पिटलाइज में, शिक्षा के अंदर, स्कूलों में, डिपार्टमेंटों में। जो इच्छुक काम कर सकता है उसको कोशिश करते हैं कि एक बार वो काम करे। अगर काम नहीं करता है तो अगर एक बॉन्ड बनवाते हैं सर, राजस्थान सरकार बॉन्ड बनवाती है, भाई अगर लिप्त पाया जाता है तो कानूनी कार्रवाई की जाएगी उसके ऊपर। लीगली जो प्रोटेक्शन में अपने जा रहे हैं, जितने शांति बनता रोड पे पाया जाता है तो उसको वापस हम पुलिस के माध्यम से फिर उसको भी कानूनी कार्रवाई करते हैं।
मैं यही कह रहा हूँ कि जो जिसके हाथ पैर सलामत हैं उसको इच्छा की कोई बात नहीं है, उसमें इच्छा पैदा करनी होगी कि तुम काम करना ही तुम्हारा कर्तव्य है, ना कि बैठ के और बैगिंग करके और इस तरह से खाना।
उनके लिए हम सोशल अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम संचालित कर रहे हैं पुनर्वास केंद्र के अंदर ही।
हाँ, उनकी इच्छा जागृत करने की बात है।
इच्छा जागृत करने काउंसलर की, प्रत्येक सेंटर में एक काउंसलर रखते हैं जो उनको प्रोत्साहित करता है, भाई काम करो, भिक्षावृत्ति मत पाओ, भिक्षावृत्ति से आप कंटिन्यू रोजगार नहीं प्राप्त कर सकते, आपके बच्चे शिक्षा प्राप्त नहीं कर सकते। आप राजस्थान के हर
वो मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि कल को गवर्नमेंट तो इनके लिए भी डीबीटी निकाल देगी, डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर। तुम्हें काम करने की जरूरत नहीं, तुम्हारे अकाउंट में हम पैसा डाल रहे हैं, तुम जो है सड़कों पे मत आओ। आई एम जस्ट सेइंग इन ए लाइटर वे. So the whole idea is we have to change the mentality also. You would have heard a lot of stories where these beggars they die, lakpati or millionaires. They have got so much money through begging they collect. So it's more a question of mentality. This is what I feel. Anyway, you are doing good effort. Your effort is appreciable. We are not criticizing your effort. Thank you very much. This was just, I wanted to express my views on that.
धन्यवाद चौधरी साहब, आप अपनी कृपा, ये जो काम है इसको जारी रखिए, अच्छी बात है, लेकिन 105 से और ज्यादा नए 105 पैदा हो जाएंगे, जरा उनका भी ध्यान रखना।
नहीं सर, हम कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं, अभी हमने कंटिन्यू एक रेस्क्यू चल रहा है, 70 आदमी रेस्क्यू केस, हमारा टारगेट होता है प्रतिदिन, ये निरंतर समस्या सर, खत्म होने वाली समस्या। हम हमारा ये हमने रोल मॉडल बनाया कि एक दिन अपन 7 आदमियों को पकड़ेंगे, तो 7 महीने में अपन 7 है कि 210 पकड़ पाते हैं। तो कुछ आदमी सोचते सर ये एकदम तो खत्म होने वाली नहीं है, तो कंटिन्यू रखना चाहते हैं इसको, ये समाप्त होगी नहीं सर। अब हम आपको यहाँ संख्या दिखा दें 1500 भिखारी, जबकि 1500 भिखारी कोई जयपुर में है नहीं। एक सर बहुत सारे तो क्या होते हैं, जैसे एक बार देश के अभियान चलाते हैं, उसको पता चल जाता है भाई आज को घर पकड़ा अभियान से पुलिस पकड़, तो वो दिखते नहीं है महीने भर में, फिर वापस हम महीने भर, हर महीने के 7 दिन
धन्यवाद। ठीक है चौधरी साहब, धन्यवाद।